Y'all, we have to talk about You Season 2. Hey Dreamers, this is Jade and I'm back with a TV journal with me. And yeah, we're going to be discussing You Season 2. If you are familiar or unfamiliar with this show, but you plan on watching it in the future and do not want to be spoiled, then I advise that you either watch this video on mute or click off now because I may say something a little spoilery. And if you don't plan on watching it but just want to kind of get an overall gist of what the story is about, I will read the blurb out to you. Now, I do know that this series is based on a set of books. I, at the moment, do not know the name of the book. I think that it's probably the same name, but I don't know the author. So, anyway, for the first season, you follows the story of Joe Goldberg, a bookstore manager in New York who, upon meeting Guinevere Beck, an aspiring writer, becomes infatuated with her. He feeds his toxic obsession using social media and other technology to track her presence and remove obstacles to their romance. That's season 1. And in the second season, Joe moves from New York to LA to escape his past and starts over with a new identity. When he meets avid chef Love Quinn, Joe begins falling into his old patterns of obsession. Joe is a disaster. Joe is a sociopath, okay? Let's not make any bones about it. Joe is crazy. But the thing about Joe, man, I'm telling you guys, is he is charismatic as hell. Like, I don't know who the casting was for this show, but they got Joe spot on. Like, I mean, they really did a good job. Penn Badgley plays Joe, and you know internally that Joe is crazy, but Joe has this internal monologue. He narrates the season, that, I mean, he will really have you convinced that he is doing crazy things for people's own good and stuff. And like, you really have to come back to yourself and say, no, 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 Jade, no. This dude is crazy. Crazier than cat shit. Like, he's crazy. So, and then he finally, he meets his match in season 2. Now, I really, really, really loved season 1. I would give it a 10 out of 10. Like, I was riveted from the beginning, and I flew through that series. Season 2 was good overall. However, I did not like it nearly as much as I liked season 1. And I think a part of the reason for that is that I kind of sort of figured out the twist. Joe moves to LA from New York after having basically killed the woman that he was stalking last season, and purports to be a new person. He's getting himself together. He's not falling into his old ways anymore. And then he meets Love Quinn, and all of that just goes straight to the toilet. It goes straight in the toilet. But the thing about Love, and I think this is why I didn't really care for the second season as much. Upon meeting Joe for the first time, she turns around. She's shopping for like peaches or something, and yeah, she turns around, this peach in her hand, and she asks him, "Does this peach look like a butt to you?" Like, total stranger turns around. Does this peach look like? And my internal voice, that I have another voice in my head sometimes that likes to chime in on things, and I think that's why I am so entertained by myself. But anyway, the voice said, "Oh, she's batshit crazy too." That's what the voice said. So I already knew that there was something wrong with this girl, and that pretty much ends up being the big twist in this show towards the end. The only thing with her was I thought that she had, she has this brother. She has this brother. Oh my God, her brother is a complete and total disaster. His name is 40. I want to say that they are twins, but if they're not, they're really, really close in age, and then they're really, really close siblings. And she feels like she has to, no matter how old he is, she feels like she has to look after him because her parents didn't do a good enough job with it, and she has to protect him and blah, 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 blah. And so basically 40 is this grown child. He's this grown man child that just he's codependent. He's ridiculous. At one point, he had some great success with a short story movie or something like that, and then he got really into the like just the celebrity scene and never did anything else. And so he's kind of like already this washed up type of person, and so his goal in this season is to become unwashed up again and um kind of get back in the scene and get back into it and make a new movie. And he's trying to get this guy named Henderson, who's kind of a creep, but he's a like a comedian. Oh my god, I don't know why I couldn't say that word. He's a comedian, and he's trying to get him to invest or be a part of his project. And I mean the shenanigans in this show, but then it turns out that Henderson is kind of this weird weirdo creep as well. And then Joe is yeah, it just I don't even know how to explain the foolishness that goes on in this season. And then Joe, the place that he moves into, his apartment complex, the girl at the very top, by moments there, her name is Delilah. She's the landlord, and she has a little sister. It's about 15 or 16, something like that, named Ellie. She's the one that's kind of sitting down with the be brave, be fierce. Ellie was my favorite of the whole series this time. And so Delilah actually had an encounter with Henderson, the comedian, when she was younger, and he basically took advantage of her. And then she finds out that her younger sister is kind of hanging around him and stuff. It's just a mess. And then Joe kind of feels like he has to protect Ellie, and he kind of takes on this big brother-ish, father-ish type role, and he's checking, like he put some spyware on her. Y'all, I'm telling you, like Joe is crazy. Anyway, toward the end, basically you find out that the twist is that Love is equally as crazy as Joe. Like I said, I kind of already had an inkling, except for I thought that Love, she has an ex-husband. Well, not an ex-husband. She has a husband that passed away. So my thought was that Love had killed her husband. But it wasn't that. It was some kind of. It was an episode that happened when her and her brother were younger. He was being taken advantage of, and she took care of it basically. And that's part of the reason why 40 is so absolutely crazy. And yeah. So I pretty much kind of figured out that something was wrong with her as well. So I wasn't as like blown away by the twist as everybody else was, because a lot of people on like my Facebook feed and so they were absolutely loving season 2, which I mean I get it, but I think since I figured it out, it kind of took a little bit of the enjoyment out of it for me. And then too, with Joe, you understand his shenanigans, you understand his way of thinking, and so it kind of becomes a little redundant. You know what I'm saying? Like from season 1 to season 2, him doing the same things and stuff. So it was just, it was a little bit less interesting this season for me. I'm gonna stop rambling. Just if you're interested, like watch this show. It is season 1 is just phenomenal. Season 2, it was pretty good, but I think because I figured out kind of the twist in the beginning, it took a little bit away from me. So, but there will be a season 3, so I'm very interested to see how that goes. And I did like the fact that they kind of delved into Joe's past in this one a little more, and I hope that they can continue with that in season 3. So we will see. If you have watched this show, please let me know what you thought about it. Please let me know what you thought about season 2. I'd love to hear your comments. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna leave off here. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. Thank you all for coming to my channel, subscribing, liking, sharing thebomb.com. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you're new here, consider doing the same. Hit the bell icon to get the notifications of when I post, usually Mondays and Fridays. However, every now and again there will be an extra video. And yeah, any materials that I use that I can link will be listed below in the description box. And that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Talk to you later. Bye.